Welcome back to Coast, everybody. The market's falling today on rate hike worries and also concerns over the ongoing China lockdowns. The Nasdaq, while still in the red, has paired early losses on the strength that we're seeing in tech stocks. And the markets are not the only thing being impacted by the ongoing China lockdowns. Oil is falling as China COVID lockdowns are driving demand fears. Joining me now is Power the Future founder and CEO, Daniel Turner. Daniel, always great to see you. You can see the market's down about 200 points, so off of session lows, and oil prices are under $196.54 a barrel, down $5 today. The presumption is that this is on concerns about demand and China, the lockdowns that we're seeing. Your thoughts of, what the impact really will be. The markets usually are a step ahead in forecasting where we go.
Yeah, exactly. And it's good to see oil prices drop. It's unfortunate we've become accustomed to oil around $90, $100 a barrel. That should still be very concerning for this administration, for the White House. Oil should be closer to $55, $60 a barrel. The only thing that's going to drive down the price is either we increase our supply, meaning we produce more here. And I was on with you last week. We talked about how this administration is never going to allow more oil and gas production here. Or the other thing that can bring down the price is consuming less. And that means that we are headed into some sort of either economic recession, some economic downfall where Americans just are not driving, they're not consuming as much oil and gas, they're not traveling, and it seems like that's what's happening to the markets right now. Now, in one sense, it's good because we want prices to come down, but the reason why is really bad. The market is concerned that we are headed towards economic recession, right, and that's terrible for our economy.
So part of this is what's happening in China. If they're locked down, the demand for oil isn't as high. But also, if I hear you correctly, what you're saying essentially is that with the inflation running rampant in this country, gas prices at records that we haven't seen in quite some time, that consumers are essentially going to have to say, I have to sit at the kitchen table, rework this budget. We can't take that family vacation this year. We can't do the drive to grandma's this summer. Whatever it is, they're going to cut back.
Exactly. And we're hitting the same problem with China that we were talking about not many weeks ago when it comes to OPEC and Russia with oil and gas. And we said, why do we depend upon these foreign countries for our oil and gas when we produce enough here? We could produce enough here to be totally energy independent. Now, the Biden administration will reverse that and say, OK, well, let's have wind and solar, and then we're energy independent. But those are made in China. 70% of our green technology, wind and solar, is manufactured in China. And if China's in lockdown for COVID reasons, or if China just wants to be a bad actor on the world stage, and they're not a good trading partner, then we're dependent upon China for these products. And so either way, the only solution for America's sovereignty and for our healthy economy is to produce our own oil and gas here domestically.
That's a great point, not just being dependent on China for the production of the materials that we need for the alternative energy, but also the fact that the sun doesn't always shine, the wind doesn't always blow. We don't necessarily have the storage capacity to be able to store the energy to make sure that we have it when we need it. That's the other issue here. But the administration says, no, we have to go 100% in that direction. That's the only way that we're going to be energy independent. I mean, the science behind it just doesn't make sense right now.
No, exactly. It's unproven. It's a fallacy to think that we can replace our economy and power it with wind and solar when technologically it's just not capable. And even further, these products are made from oil and gas. We're just basically sending our oil and gas to China for them to make these products. We buy them back at a premium, and we give up our farmland and turn them into wind and solar farms instead. So that's not a winning solution either. American sovereignty depends upon producing as many things domestically as possible. Supply chain is always going to be a problem if we make things in a foreign country. The administration is concerned that we make so much fertilizer in Russia, or that we buy so much fertilizer from Russia. Why did we ever outsource that? We used to make it here. Yeah. Why do we make our pharmaceuticals in China? We used to make it here. Let's make everything here, starting with oil and gas.
Yeah, President Trump had said that the day that he came into office, we're going to bring production back home. And somehow when the administration switched, the philosophies switched as well. Daniel, great to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie.